Alrighty, guys. So here we continue our book reviews. I'm telling you, we got a whole stack of books that we got to do reviews for. So you're going to see this messy place and this shirt for quite a few videos to come. Just letting you know. I do actually wear different things, but anyway, today we are talking about the D&D starter set, the one that started all for 5th edition. Yeah. So the too long didn't watch for you impatient types is excellent. Is a great adventure, and if you have a chance to play it or pick it up, especially for new dungeon masters or new players, it is you. There are other ones, but you won't go wrong with this one. Let's put it that way. Yeah, and so stick around. We'll delve a little bit further into this one. So this book, I recently got into Dungeons and Dragons. I guess 2 years ago, a year ago, or something like that. And I eventually ended up dungeon mastering a few games for a group that we play with in Hattiesburg, and also at the game store, and also for my two foster nieces. I guess that's what we'll call them. Running a game for them, and I ran this for them, and it was my first module pre-made adventure kind of thing that I ever ran. Was this? And it's a starter set. The reason why it's a starter set is because it includes a starter rule book, so you don't have to buy like the full on. If you're just getting into Dungeons and Dragons, you don't have to buy the full rule set or whatever. You can. It's got everything you need to run. It's got all the rules that you need to actually run this game in here. It also has. It has the adventure book itself, which outlines everything that you need to do to run it. It teaches you how to run the story and everything. It also includes a set of dice, which it's not actually a complete set. This is a set of 6. A complete standard set of dice is 7. What it's missing is the percent dice. So there's 2 different. This is a D10. As you see, it goes to 0. It's over 10. This is a D10. There is another version of the D10 that has 10s on here. So it would be 80 and 50 and 30 and 90. You get the idea, right? You roll them together with this one, this D10, and you get a percentage. So you can get all the way from 1 all the way to 100, right? Percent. You get the idea? That would be a complete dice, but you can always just roll this twice and get the percent dice. So that's one thing where they kind of cut things out really kind of unnecessarily. Like, really? Couldn't just include the other dice? But do I have one on hand? No, I don't. I'll show you the percentage dice, but I don't have that one on hand. It also includes some pre-made characters. There's a fighter, and I've got some like plastic cover protector things or whatever, just so they could use like dry erase and mark on the papers, and I don't have to worry about them penciling on here. I would recommend you do the same. So yeah, there's a cleric, a fighter, a wizard, a rogue, and another fighter. One of the fighters is a sword fighter, and the other is a bow and arrow fighter type person. That's why there's 2 fighters. Those aren't the only classes that are in D&D, but that's the ones that are pre-made in the module. You don't even have to make a character. You just literally just give them the sheet of paper and then teach them as you go what stat to look at and what to roll and all that jazz. But it's great. Like I said, it has the rule book, and really what it is this module here is like a pre-made story that is already set up for you, so you don't have to write a story to run. It's already written for you. You just got to read through it and then run it at the table. So you'll take note of it's got like maps and stuff. All right. That's got some cool art in here. But this is great. This is a very beloved. This is Phandelver. This town actually comes up a lot in D&D. They use it because quite a few modules like hook into the town of Phandelver, just because this is the starting adventure or whatever. There is a new starter set. I should note there are 3 starter sets now. There's literally starter set. There's starter set, which has the Mines of Phandelver. There's the Essentials kit, which came out a few years ago. And then there's a new one. What is it called, actually? Oh, it's also called starter set. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's another one called Starter Set Dragons of Storm Wreck Isle. So it's a different. It's a different module. It's set in a different place. That's the brand new one. But yeah, this is, if you're just getting into D&D, and this is really cheap. I think it's like $20 or something like that. All of the starter sets are like $15 or $20. You might even catch it on sale for even cheaper, right? But it's just really great. You can see on the back here. Let's see, make sure focus on here. You see on the back here, like everything spread out and cool art. Big old dragon. I won't spoil you on any of the story. But it's a great story. Let me just read the thing. So Dungeon Dragon Starter Set is your gateway to action-packed stories of the imagination. This box contains the essential rules of the game, plus everything you need to play heroic characters on a perilous adventures in worlds of fantasy. Game components: you have 64-page adventure book with everything the Dungeon Master needs to get started. A 32-page rulebook for playing characters 1 through 5. 5 pre-generated characters, each with a character sheet and supporting reference material, and 6 game die. And then it says, when you're ready for even more, expand your adventures with 5th edition, Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master Guide, Monster Manual. Those are the 3 core rule books. So you don't need those if you have this to start out with. Of course, if you really like it, you're going to want to get at least the Player's Handbook. That is the core rules. Digitally or in person. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. I had a ton of fun running it. The girls really enjoyed it, and everybody that I know that I've talked to about this adventure that plays D&D, they say that they loved playing it. Maybe don't want to play it again because they played it so much, but that they loved running it. Especially if you're a new DM, that is a decent choice. I am very glad that was the first one I ran, because it took like 6-8 sessions or something like that, and each session was like 4 hours. I'm sure a more experienced dungeon master could get that a little bit more streamlined, but maybe in a new DM and new players that have never played before, it took us a little while to get through it, but very worth your time. Like we played like every Saturday, so it was a couple of months of Saturdays, 4-hour afternoons or something like that. Ton of value. You think of $20 for that? That is a ton of entertainment value. Incredible value. Anyway, highly recommend D&D starter sets. by Dungeons and Dragons. That's the end of the review. I will say there's some controversy going on with Dungeons and Dragons regarding some licensing stuff that I don't agree with. This is just a comment on this existing material. Is not a comment on how I feel about the current situation, which I'm not going to get into. Most of you probably don't care about. But let's just say that this is a review of the starter set as a product, not a comment on Wizards of the Coast or Dungeons and Dragons, the company or whatever. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, and I'll catch you guys next time.